The AK-12, a weapon that is underrated in Delta Force in my opinion, but oh boy, is it a mistake to not be using this thing. I made a build a while back, but I think it was very much due for an update. The ADS time was slow on that old build, and people did tell me, so I thought I would just make a revamped build with the AK-12. It's a fantastic weapon, not enough people use it, and I wanted to share the new one that I have for all of you today. So starting off with a blank canvas here, you have two options of barrels. Now, at first I went with this one, so the handling wasn't so low, but I ended up just going for the AK-12 Elite Bipod long barrel to get extra stability, extra control, and we're going to make up for a lot of that handling. The accuracy, not a big deal for this. For the muzzle device, I tried a few different ones, the Sandstorm, the Bastion, the typical ones that you'd go for. I ended up landing on the Titanium Contest muzzle brake. The AK-12 doesn't have that much horizontal recoil, but if we just look at the pattern here on the control, you can see it is quite substantial. So it goes up quite a bit, and then it kind of bends up into the right and then goes back slightly to the left to go all the way up straight. So I just felt like the Titanium Contest muzzle brake was a better option here to mitigate both types of recoil. For the foregrip, we're going to go with the X25U angled combat grip. And I know this is a recurring one, but it's so good. I tried it with the Secret Order bevel foregrip, but the problem with this one is it also increases your vertical recoil. So if we look at the stats here, control, you can see it corrected some of that bend, but it is going up even more, which is not ideal. Want to keep that manageable. So just the X25U did its job perfectly here in managing both recoils. For the mag, now you have a few options here: 45 round, 75 round, 230 round mags. I ended up going with the 30-round polymer mag. Now, I know what a lot of people are going to say. Why would you not put an extended mag on here? Honestly, I reload so often that I feel like it wasn't worth it. I also wanted to keep the ADS speed snappy, fast reload, and for the most part, when I died, it wasn't because I ran out of ammo, it's because I was just being incompetent at aiming. And if I did run out of ammo, I had my trusty sidearm, which is the Glock 18, but if you're playing maybe more AD, you might want to put an extended mag on here, but I just went for the 30-round polymer mag, which increases your handling by 6, and then just slap on the mag mount on here. For the rear grip, we're going to go with the AK Heavy Tower Grip because we want to boost that stability up with the stable grip base, boosting it by 7. For the stock, we're going to go with one that I don't think I've used before. It's the PT1 Spec Ops stock. Now, this gives you a bump in control and a bump in handling, which is really nice at the slight cost of stability. Now, stability, unfortunately, took a little bit of a dip a few seasons ago because it no longer affects the aim punch you feel when you're getting hit by somebody that's firing back at you. So putting so many points in stability isn't as good or effective as it was before. For the charging handle, put it on. There's literally no downsides. You get +1 handling. For the optic, I went with the OKP7 because I wanted to match, the aesthetic of the weapon. So it's being the AK platform, so put that on there. And then all 4 of these patches here, I just went with the DD Python handguard panel to get faster ADS speed by 10 milliseconds per panel. If you feel like any other stats are lacking, maybe swap those out for those specific panels of your choice. And then for the right rail, I simply went with the red laser to really match the aesthetic of this specific skin. Now moving on to the calibration, barrel +50 grams, +10 millimeters, getting extra muzzle velocity, extra firing stability. For the foregrip, we're going with -2 slots and -20 millimeters to get extra ADS movement speed and extra ADS speed. For the rear grip, we're going to go with +50 grams and -20 millimeters to get extra hip fire aim speed and extra control. And then for the stock, we're going with -50 grams and +50 grams to get +50 millimeters to get extra firing stability and extra aiming stability while breathing. And finally, for the optic, we're going with -20 millimeters. Now, looking at these stats of the AK-12, now it's not the highest damaging weapon, it's not the fastest TTK weapon, it's just a solid all-around weapon that you can use at both CQB, medium, and long-range engagements, doing 24 damage per shot. Now, looking at this here, you can see the damage multipliers a little bit under 2, it's like 1.7, I think, and then you still do 24 damage across all the other body parts. So looking at the control here, we bumped it up quite a bit, so by 35. It looks still a little bit bendy, but it is very easy to control considering that it's not the fastest firing weapon in the game. The handling here is really where it shines. So we lost 7 handling overall, but considering we have a laser on here, it's bringing it down to 299 milliseconds ADS, which is lightning fast, and you will definitely feel it. If you run into an enemy full sprinting, chances are you're probably going to be able to ADS your weapon before they have a chance to kill you. It felt so nice to have a weapon with such fast ADS speed. For the stability, we bumped it up by 7 still, which is not like crazy high, but it's decent enough. So we can see current recoil reduction when holding breath is 0.87x, the lens stability while firing is 0.39x, which is really nice, and then the current movement stability is 0.78x, even though we reduced it with the calibration. And finally, the accuracy, you know, it stayed exactly the same at 54. So in order to use this specific AK-12 build, you will need to level up the weapon to 68 in order to unlock the Elite Bipod Long Barrel. And also what's nice about the AK-12 is that it's available to not only the Assault class, but also to the Engineer class. So you can use it on a lot of different characters should you choose. And that is exactly what I did. Before, I didn't use it all that much because I don't really play Assault a whole lot. I tend to play Engineers when I'm on vehicle maps. And then when I'm on CQB maps, I'll mostly go for like Stinger just because I like playing as a medic. But now that the Engineer has access to the AK-12, it allows me to use it with that specific class of operators, and it's really fun. I wish I could actually have it on the support class because I think it's a fantastic weapon, and I would use it more if it was available to more classes of operators. Obviously, for the video, I recorded and used the Assault class to play on the CQB maps like Shafted. But yeah, the AK-12, this specific build, I think was absolutely fantastic. It's not that difficult to control, even though the recoil pattern looked a little bit bendy, but we did a lot to correct some of that recoil, and you're going to see like just the ADS speed on this thing is absolutely fantastic. It's super stable when you're firing because we bumped up the stability just enough for it to make sense. And yeah, I think it's just a really, really solid weapon build. Obviously, if you start putting those extended mags on there, you're going to lose out on that fast ADS speed, stability, and some recoil control. So that's kind of up to you, but as a base, I think it is a solid build, and I had a ton of fun using it. I was just dropping insane kill games. Even playing on King of the Hill, I was getting like 60, 70 kills with the AK-12, and I was having an absolute blast. So as per usual, the weapon share code for this specific build will be in the description down below, as well as the top pinned comment. In any case, I'll leave you a few highlight clips of me using this specific build. But yeah, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.